Am I the hoe for wanting to go to the wedding of my dad and his former mistress? Ever since I can remember, my parents had an odd relationship. They had me, their only kid, but never got married because they always had ups and downs. They were careful not to fight in front of me, but I knew they were constantly mad at each other. When I was 6, I remember that my dad started sleeping in another room, and ever since, my parents barely spoke to each other even when they were in the same room. I was little, but I knew something was off. Then, when I was 9, my dad told me he was going to start sleeping in another house. He moved out, but they had a 50-50 custody arrangement, so I saw him pretty often. Then my mom started telling me that my dad abandoned us and that I should be angry at him. When I told my dad, she never said that to me again. I guess they agreed not to put me between their mess. Later, I found out that when my dad changed rooms when I was 6, they had broken up and remained so for almost 3 years. My dad explained to me that the relationship was bad for both of them, so he decided to end it without a chance of reconciliation. He begged her to go to therapy, but she didn't want to, so he gave up and broke it off. But my mom asked my dad to keep living in our house to help her co-parent, and he agreed. I asked my mom for confirmation, and she told me that it was true. I also found out that my dad moved because he had met someone else a month before moving out and started dating her. Now, 10 years later, my dad and his fiancée are getting married, and we get along pretty well. My mom doesn't want me to go. She's very hurt about the wedding, and she's always told me that she was my dad's mistress, that even if they were broken up and nothing happened between them, he was still living with us, so he technically cheated. My dad has always told me his side of the story and let me draw my own conclusions. I honestly don't think my dad cheated because they were broken up, but I guess my mom has really old values, and for her, living in the same house means still being in a relationship. I don't know what to do because, obviously, it will kill her if I go to their wedding, but I also want to be part of my dad's special moment. Is my mom right? AITA.